This man is Pistol Whipper. Now, Pistol Whipper is a retired bounty hunter. Let me rephrase that. He was a retired bounty hunter, one of the most feared in the galaxy. He roamed near and far, near and far, hunting bounties, leading a crew, and becoming one of the most well known, most feared, and most powerful bounty hunters in the universe. Now, one day he was out killing, out collecting his bounties, and he saw a woman. Most beautiful woman he'd ever seen. And in that moment, he knew his life was going to change. His life would never be the same. Now he struck up a conversation, and one thing led to another, and before he knew it, they were married. And he had given up on bounty hunting. He knew he could never go back. He was a family man now. He had a son. Not a beautiful son. He was very average son. Not sure who he took after. His father was Pistol, the best bounty hunter that ever lived, and his mother was Margaret. She was pretty cool. Their son George, he was all right. He was all right. Now one thing led to another, and old Pistol got divorced. He got divorced. And instead of falling into despair, he found him another woman, and she was even more beautiful than the first. Her name was Lynn. Now Lynn and him had a beautiful daughter named Tiff. And he was happy. He was happy, and he was satisfied, and he was fulfilled, living his life on the farm, living his days out, just farming, having a good time, sending his daughter off to school with a smile each morning, hugging his wife at night. Nighttime's the hugging time, as we all know, an adult hug. Now all that beautiful, pastoral, pristine life, it came to an end. Now there was a group of spacers called the Bad Bad Boys. And they knew of old Pistol. They knew him by name. They knew him by reputation. And they knew him by the fact that he has touched all of their lives. There was a bounty one time, many years ago, that Pistol took of a whole village. A whole village he was tasked with eliminating. And eliminating he did. He didn't care. As long as the credits cleared, he was fine. No conscience in those days. And this group, the Bad Bad Boys, they knew. They were the only ones that survived. They grew in number. And they grew in malice. And they grew in desire for revenge. And they found old Pistol. They found Pistol living on his farm. And they found him. And they stopped him. They came and they took everything. They took his house. They took his wife. They took his daughter. They took his dog. They left his cat, but the cat left him shortly after on his own. But they left Pistol alive. Everything else was gone, dead, buried. But Pistol, their cruelest act was leaving him alive. And he knew what he had to do. He knew all those instincts he'd been hiding for so long, all those desires that he kept down, they had to come back out. He had to let the bad boys know who he was and who he still is deep down. And so, folks, you may think that this is the tale of Pistol's revenge, this story we're about to experience. But I have to tell you, folks, that story's over. Now, Pistol, his name may be Pistol, but he is smart as a whip. He found the Bad Bad Boys in 3 days flat. 2 solar systems over, but it was no match for him. Despite the fact that he had been out of practice for so many years, his skills were just as whip of a crack sharp as before, and he took 'em all down. It reignited the flame in his heart, the flame and the desire to kill. And so he thought to himself, I have two choices. One, I die right here, right now, join my wife and daughter in the afterlife. Maybe my son, I do not know. I have not talked to him in many years. He may be there as well. I do not know. Or option two, I pick up where I left off all those years ago. I travel the galaxy. I hunt the bounties. I return them. I return them to the grave. And before I kill them, I let them know. Say hello to my wife and child. I will see them someday. But my work, it is not done. And that is the tale of old Pistol Whipper, the greatest bounty hunter the galaxy has ever known, and the greatest bounty hunter that the galaxy will learn of once again. Let's go.